There was a report this morning, and Tim brought the story for us. So Mexico is supposed to be releasing or released a little bit of water.
Yeah, and I think it broke late Friday is when we first got word that a letter was written notifying that Mexico has released some water.
Wayne Halbert is with Harlingen Irrigation. Wayne, welcome back to the show. How you been, friend?
Doing fine.
So have you been able to glean from the information that has been in the media, the letters and all that type of stuff, how much was it? Is it significant, or is this just a dog and pony show to help distract us away from the issue?
Well, it's early for us to tell exactly what's going to be there, except that we know, or they've told us, which reservoir they're going to release water out of, and that reservoir only has 20-something thousand acre feet. So if they release it all and we only get a third of it, we're just talking about a very minimal amount of water, water that our district would, the city of Harlingen.
It's not even going to add up to, it's not even going to add to 1% of the overall debt that is owed to the U.S.
No, it's just a very small amount of water, drop in the bucket,
literally,
for what we really need. So, but again, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. But from all that we can glean from the information they give us as to which reservoir they're going to release from, there's just not enough water there for it to amount to anything.
Okay, how would this water be distributed? By priority, by first come first serve? How does that work?
Well, the way the Water Master program works is the water when the water reaches the reservoir and it's allotted to the U.S. side as to how much water is there, then the Water Master program has a way to distribute that water. However, under these drought conditions, whether it's a significant amount or not determines whether or not it can be allocated.
With evaporation rates coming in from Mexico to the Rio, and then from the Rio eventually down to us, how much might we lose? Let's say the 20,000 acre feet that are there, they release, by some miracle they release half, which I doubt. But if they were, let's just use 10,000 acre feet as a nice round number. How much will evaporate on the way down here by the time it makes it down here?
Well, I couldn't give you that information, but I'm sure someone could give you some indication of what that'd be. But the reality is, whatever reaches the Rio Grande, we only get a third of that by the treaty. So if 10,000 acre feet came in, we get 3,330 acre feet, so to speak. So we're talking about, it already gets cut way down by the time we get it because of the treaty obligations. It's only a third of it that reaches the Rio Grande that we could get. So we're talking about minimal water. We're talking about so little that the operations of the system and everything would get lost.
Yeah, it's a rounding error. Harlingen Irrigation District Director Wayne Halbert, our guest on 710 KURV.
Wayne, Tim Sullivan here. Good morning.
Good morning.
When will you be able to tell exactly how much water has been released and how much you'll be getting?
Well, I don't have enough information to know for sure how they've scheduled releases and what they're talking about. All we have are preliminary information that says Mexico's going to release water out of a certain lake to provide for our needs here at the U.S. And that's all we really know. We just know how much water's in behind that dam, and so if they released it all, it's insignificant.
Yeah. Would it help at all, even minimally?
Well, I hate to say that it wouldn't help at all. I'm just saying it's not anything that will solve any problem. It's obviously any drop of water that we get that we don't have is a help, but it's not. No, it wouldn't help at all.
It's more headlines and saturation in the ground. That it seems to
Absolutely.
be right now. Yeah.
Well, the two sides continue to talk. Are you hopeful of a more longer-term solution in the near future?
Well, I think yes, I'm hopeful that there'll be a better solution. But this is kind of what we were fearful of, is that out of negotiations, Mexico would release a small pittance of water and use that as an argument. Well, we tried to help,
Yeah.
It would be better if they didn't release any, if they're not going to release enough to make any significant difference.
Wayne, thanks for your time. Wayne Halbert from Harlingen Irrigation, our guest on 710 KURV.